Man will disappoint you. I've actually gone through two sides of this relationship thing with the same my husband. Everything is so fast paced right now. Every transaction can be a possible scam. So I do get it. I understand why people do not believe in long distance relationships, because people want to be able to control their real time, their lives, their situations now. But I'm here. 6 years, about 6 years in a long distance relationship, all through the 6 years. And in April, I'll be 2 years married. Not saying that I'm the benchmark, but I'm happily married. I feel much more in line with my purpose since I have been in my marriage, since I have been in a relationship with my husband. And I'm excited about my own life. Everything about me right now with regards to long distance relationship, it works. So hi family. But if you're new here, my name is Jasmine Housenwright Kuma. I'm an actor, I'm a digital content creator, and now I'm a YouTuber. And this is my third video. So you're welcome. I created this channel because it was a leading from God, first of all, and I've always been longing to share content that inspires people, that just makes you want to do better in life. So today I'm just going to be sharing 5 tips. 5 tips that I employed in my own relationship, in my long distance relationship, that made it work. They're a couple, they can be, relationships are unique, so it's not a rule of thumb, but it did work for me. It still works for me, and it can work for you too. So let's go on to the first tip. So first tip would be intentionality. I know you have heard it before. It sounds like a broken record, but my darling, I cannot begin this journey of 5 without telling you about intentionality. We already know that long distance relationships involve 2 people in an intimate relationship that are far apart, either by country, city, just geographically, they are not close to each other, and it makes the relationship hard. So if you are not intentional in your relationship, that is the first sign that you cannot do a long distance relationship. Here's an example. When I started dating my husband, the first year, in fact, the first time, the beginning months when I started dating him, I was in Lagos. He was in Lagos as well. My husband is a military officer. And at that time I was in Apapa. He was in Apapa as well. I was filming. I was just entering Lagos as an actor, and I was on a project that was very cumbersome. He would go for months on water, and I won't get to see him for like 72 days, 70 something days, like 3 months basically. My guy helped me because on intentional grounds, he's a solid. What will happen is, if he comes around like from the water, he would come and meet me on sets. He would always literally be around me on set, like where we were living in Apapa, or just within that area basically. He would come in the night and we'd just do the most basic stuff. Hang out, sit in the car, talk to each other, share. Like, we were getting to know each other, but he was intentional that beginning point, he made himself available. Once in a while, when he comes around, we'll go out, get food, get treats, get Domino's, ice cream, or we just stay on the bonnet of the car, on the boot of the car, and we are talking endlessly. He was intentional. And because he was intentional, he made me value him. Because at that time, yeah, we were in a relationship, but it was still the beginning stage. So everything you are feeding me, I'm observing it. At that time, I was observing how much he was dedicated to making sure he was present, even though he wasn't. So it was easy for me to appreciate him and be conscious that this person, I have to do good to them. I have to value them. I have to also be intentional about them. I have to, in his own case, I have to be patient with him. I have to dedicate myself to a kind of consciousness that we're in this together. You cannot say that you love somebody and you're not intentional about them. Then just forget long distance relationship. It's not for you. When it comes to long distance relationship, both parties have to be intentional. So I'm bringing this back because I just want to fill up one of the points that I made, and that's about being intentional. One other way you can be intentional is by developing habits, just unique habits that you and your partner can get used to doing together. One of the things that we do that we're very intentional about is praying in the morning at a certain time together, regardless of the fact that we have our personal study time, our covenant time. We decided that we're going to be very intentional about communicating in prayer. Basically, if he's not available, most times he's not available, like you can already guess, we just send voice note prayers. Today I could pray, tomorrow he could pray, and we have now gotten used to it. So it's that thing that we do, that we have to do, that we almost always have to do every day. Even if we miss it in the morning, he'll be like, babe, prayer. Or I'll be like, babe, prayer. So it keeps us conscious. And we decided prayer because that's really the foundation of our relationship. So what better? We're committing every day. We're agreeing together. We are still together, even though we're not together. So yeah, that's what I just wanted to add. You should be intentional by developing habits. Just putting in habits there that you would, even if it's a sacrifice, because it's not every day that we can communicate like right on. But we found a way out. Basically, we send voice notes. Regardless of the fact that he's hardly around, I'm reminded that I have someone that I am physically accountable to, physically have to agree with, and is there. Same thing with him. For you, it could be any other thing, but I would advise prayer. Now let's go to the next point. Communicate. Before I even get into the normal communicate your feelings and things like that, I think it's very important in a long distance relationship that you communicate your value system, your goals, who you are. You need to be clear. Your partner needs to understand who you are. Don't leave the relationship for your partner to assume or to observe and pick points. No, there's no time. You're hardly seeing each other already. Every moment counts in a long distance relationship. So the first things you should be building upon when you are entering a long distance relationship is really get to know me. Do not wait for your partner to pick up signs on who you are. I didn't do that. I was very direct about who I was. It's not that I understood perfectly who I was, but I knew to a good extent. What can't you compromise? Do not leave things like that to your partner's observation. Check this out. It's like going to a restaurant and sitting at the table and the waiter comes and says, what would you like to have? And you're like, what do you have? And they tell you, oh, I have this, I have this. And you're like, just give me anything. You can enter Gbese. If they decide, oh, let's give you the chef special for the night. It's possible for you to go into a restaurant and not know what you want to eat. But then you know your kind of person. You know that you don't like onions in your rice. You know that if you eat a certain kind of food, you would have allergies. When you see it on the menu, you skip it. Or if the waiter comes and asks you what do you want, you can tell them, oh, I want rice, but I don't want this or that or that. It's literally like that, especially in a long distance relationship. Remember, you're working with limited time. Every time counts. Don't wait for your partner to pick up signs. Most times in a long distance relationship, your partner is probably away because of a high demand job or high demand something. Most times, or because maybe that is where they stay, so they are not used to where you are at. So there are going to be so many things that are not on the same page, possibly. So you need to spell things out. You need to say, oh, this is who I am. This is what I like. This is my value points. This is my dreams. This is what I can stand. This is what you shouldn't try. And I was very vocal about my value system. My husband at that time, trying to get to know me up until the beginning stages of dating, he was involved in my process. He knew my value system to a certain degree. He knew my prayer life. He knew I don't joke with God. He knew that the foundation of our relationship had to be God. There were just things that I put on the table straight up so that you can tell me if you are down for it or you are not. So that helps. It's not like that won't stop somebody from hurting you. No. If they even mess that up, it's on them. It's clear. It's not that they didn't know. And it just, for me, it helped my relationship with my husband because there were just some things he did not bother about when it came to me. And there were some things he did better with himself because of my preference. And also there were things that I adjusted to because of where he's coming from and because we communicated. So it's very important that you communicate who you are in a long distance relationship. Then it's also important for you to communicate your feelings. Why are you not telling your partner that what they did hurt you? Why? Please, why? You have to speak. You have to say how you feel. You don't take the simple things for granted. The simple things are the biggest deals. Don't just say, okay, let me just wait till when I see him or when I see her. That's the point. You don't know when you will see these people. You don't know. Even if you plan it, it might be a long time. It's not like you can barge into their house the next day and say, what you did, I don't like it. Or have a discussion right there and then. Because there's something about seeing someone and having a conversation with them that's different from texting or calling over the phone. But you don't have that opportunity. So always communicate your feelings. Don't be rude about it. Don't be a brat about it, or don't be silly about it. It's communication. You can let your partner know what you did yesterday, I didn't like it. Or what you're doing, I don't like it. I love this about us. If my husband does something that makes me happy, he will know it. I don't hide it from him. Never did, not now. I let that guy know that he's doing well. He lets me know that, he's always literally on that platform, but thank God. But I'm also very intentional. If he does something, no matter how small, I appreciate him. I thank him. I let him know that I see it as much as possible. And I've gotten so used to it. It's already part of the system. There's nothing too big. There's nothing too small that I cannot tell him that, guy, you are too much. If you're down, if you are happy, let them know. It does something with the bond. These small things, these communications and this appreciation and just being honest about how you feel or what you're doing, it makes that bond grow, especially if you're being appreciated a lot. People like to hear that they're doing well, and they will stay where they feel appreciated. Even in a normal friendship, how much more in your relationship? Communication is key. You have to be speaking to your partner. You have to call, you have to text, you have to be available. You cannot be in a long distance relationship and want it to work and you are not available. It will not work. I also know that there's a part with communication that is a bit sensitive because you don't want to just pour out everything. People are wicked. So to be honest, my third point is actually supposed to be my first point because it was my own personal first. You have to put God in it. God has to be the center of it. Because no matter how much somebody loves you, the word of God says it. The heart of man is desperately wicked. Nobody. The question is, who can know it? Who defines person? Nobody can know it. Not even the person that has it is a who. They can't know the extent at which their heart is wicked. The thing about humans is sometimes we hurt people not because we plan to hurt them, not because we want to hurt them, but because we're either pushed to the wall because of value systems that we did not have. We we're not grown enough to make independent choices and be responsible for it, so we just allow somebody else to take the fall for it. Different things. Sometimes the reason is actually fair, but nobody should be hurt. So the only thing that really protects anybody in a long distance relationship is God. Because people will talk about things, people will say things, people are going to make you seem like, are you serious with your life? Long distance relationship, especially me, long distance relationship, military officer with their promiscuous lives. Sorry guys. But yeah, these are things that I knew before I got into a relationship with my husband. But I got into the relationship because I had a go from God. It was very, very clear to me. I already had a revelation about him. And then I didn't even just rush into the relationship. And I let him know. He knew that I was waiting for my ears from God. So I was very transparent about my process. I was not rushing into a relationship, no matter how cozy our conversations got, no matter how much I already liked him. I knew that God will start this and he will finish it, because I don't even joke about relationships. I wasn't just trying to get into a relationship just because. Nah. So God is very important, because once he's in it, he wants to use it for his glory. And no matter how he turns it, no matter where he takes it, in whatever direction that he takes a relationship, it would always be for your good. The Bible already said it, that the plans he has for you, they are for good and not of evil, to bring you to an expected end. Only he knows that expected end. Only he knows that thing, that point that he's trying to take you guys to. If he says that it's you and the partner, then he knows how to go with you guys. He has your blueprint, both of you. So you have to put God in it. You should put God in your relationship, especially long distance relationship, because so many things are like wind. They blow, they toss left and right. And I had my share of stuff. I had things I had heard, like I already said, one, you can't, you're dating a military officer. These people, they are promiscuous, blah, blah, blah. It can make you want to panic. But my confidence was always, I didn't just enter a relationship because some guy like girl. No. I had a goal from God that this is the person I want you to be with. That you have a relationship with God where he can tell you this person is your person. And in this context, if this person is someone that you're going to be in a relationship and it's going to be long distance, he already knows how he's going to take you guys. Number 4, please build the friendship. See, being married to my friend has made me realize that all that time I felt like, because I like my company, I'll be good. Married to a military personnel who is not always going to be around. Lies from the pit of hell. Because I have shed premium tears just because I want my friend to be around, just because I want him to share moments with me, just because I need his own kind of help. I've shed tears. I've cried because I miss my guy. And it is so important in a long distance relationship that you are friends. So it's a situation where it's not just that we love each other. I like him and he likes me. We like our company. You need to see us planning when he's going to be back. We will not trade hanging out with each other to hang out with anybody else. Like, if we have enough time, yeah. If we can adjust things, yes. But if it's tight, that man will say it. Baby, we're not going anywhere. It's me and you. And the only way I can explain it is, it's like kids. When you are friends, you bring out that inner child. We did things like taking walks. When I was in Calabar, we'd play. Tell him he's a late man. Babe, back me now. Are you really going to ignore me? You want to go and meet me? You want to meet me? I was hailing you. I was calling you. I was calling you. We do exercises together. Little things. Little things. My water. My lemon water.
AQUAFINN. Does it sound like FOLUKE? I'll drop the next recipe.
My reward.
Blow your mind.
My reward.
You're looking for the word.
My
You're
reward.
God, please, God.
Things that make me laugh even right now. Your partner has to be your friend for a long distance relationship to work, because it's easy to fall into wife and husband status, wife and husband responsibility, wife and husband relationship. If you don't have a friendship, if you're not intentional about building a friendship. One example, I'm not really a game. I love PS and all those other games, but I'm not crazy about games. I would indulge in it. I love Mortal Kombat. I love things like that, but I'm not crazy about it. I can do without it. My husband, on the other hand, loves games. So he has a colleague and a family friend who he played what do you call this thing? iMessage games. I knew it. Like, they would just be at it. Like, they just have their thing. Wasn't bothered about it with the guy thing. But one day he sent me an invite for one of those games on like your iMessage and stuff. And it was when I got that invite, when I got that notification to join a game, it was like this arrow and arrow game. I got the notification, and there was something that did to me. It just made me feel so cute. I wasn't bothered about it, but when I did get it, it made me feel I'm the one that killed the enthusiasm. But those small things, that he's not around, but he wants me to play little games with him. So I had to learn how to indulge those little things, because it can easily be tomorrow, later, babe. But I see the effort, and I see that these things that are little but matter to him, I can do it. Like, why not? Just be friends. You have to be friends for a long distance relationship to work, because it keeps that fire, that longing. You want to see each other. You want to be with your friend. You want to gist with your friend. Who better than your friend, basically? Because of how much we are friends. He takes my friends as his own friends. My husband is a very guarded person. If you don't need to hear from him, you will not hear from him. But I have specifically noticed that people that I call my own, he's so free with them. He's so open to them. He's a kid with them. If you see him playing with my own friends, you would think that is him normally. You think, oh, this guy is a very chill guy. He does not send anybody. Or if you catch him outside, you will not even know that it's the same person. He sees that they are my own. So he wants them to be his own too, or he wants them to know that you are our own, I guess. So it wasn't until a little while that I realized that this guy's actually jumping over his own walls because of my affiliation, or how I am warm towards the people that I say are my friends. So I know it's an effort that he's putting in to make sure that my own is his own. And the same thing with me. Like, I just want the people that he's happy around to feel at home with us, with me. We talk, we gist about what to do for this person or what to get for this person on both ends. We're friends. Friendship is very important. Okay, before we go into the 5th tip, why haven't you subscribed? Please subscribe. And if you're enjoying the conversation already, please like and share. Yeah, the fifth is you have to believe in the relationship. I don't think there's anything you can be successful at if you don't believe in it. Long distance relationship is not an exception. You have to believe in it. You have to believe it will work. You have to believe in your partner. You have to believe you guys will see the way through. Don't be the person that speaks bad about your relationship. Don't be the person that will rather listen to what everybody else says about your relationship than what you believe about your relationship or what God has told you about your relationship. And again, I'm very careful to say this. My confidence in speaking about this is that you know that the person you're in a long distance relationship with is God that gave that person to you. Other than that, I cannot speak confidently because man will disappoint you. I've actually gone through two sides of this relationship thing with the same my husband. And in one season, man showed up. In one season, his lack of spiritual growth affected our relationship. But thank God, he got that part sorted. But I have the, should I say, credibility to speak on both ends because of the experience I have gone through. You cannot trust someone that does not have somebody he's accountable to. You just can't. Not just a mommy or daddy. God. If a man or a woman fears God, they would walk in the light of that reverence for God and treat you right or treat you the way you ought to be treated. Because first of all, they already have a relationship with God, so they will be speaking with God on how to treat you, and it will be serving you because God has your blueprint in his hand. So when he tells his son, do this, it will be exactly what you need. That aside, you have to believe in your relationship. You have to speak good about your relationship. You have to pray for your relationship, especially a long distance relationship. There are so many factors, there's so many odds that comes against long distance relationship, and sometimes they are the simplest things. So you have to believe that you and your partner will make it through. You will do it. I can also speak about this confidently because as couples, we've been through a heavy situation that could shake us, but there was a foundation. All these steps I've listed, especially God, was the rock that we had. So we were friends already. We are very conscious of our relationship with God already. We communicate already. We were intentional people already. So by the time this season happened, we didn't need to be bothered about what was outside. The wind from outside, the unbelief from outside, or whatever outside posed at us. We just held ourselves. It was like, I got you, you got me, we stay here. If I didn't have a partner that believed in us, or if I didn't believe in us, anything can come and shake us and toss us about. Because people even like to hear the bad news more than they like to hear the good news. And they will corroborate the story that they know nothing about. This is life. So you have to believe in your relationship or in your partner in a way that defies external influences when you are sure that God gave you that person. You have to believe in it. You have to believe that it will stand the test of time. I believe that we are going to see this relationship till eternity. I believe it. It's not like I don't know that things happen. It's not like I don't know that anything can happen, but I don't choose that narrative. I believe we'll see to the end. And as far as I'm talking with God and communicating with God, and he's steady on my side, we will. So yes, please, you have to believe in your relationship for it to work. You just have to. All right, so I said 5, and that's 5. Like I said, relationships are unique. People have different things that speak to them People have different things that are important to them. But I just think that this is very foundational. This covers a lot. You'll be good.